Yeah, that's not happening.
We're pretty much going to die a lot.
Hello again, it's me again. This time we're going to be talking about how to get to a space station and dock at a space station which you have in orbit. So, I have a space station. Let me go ahead and talk over my engines though. I have a space station that I've already put in orbit that you may have remembered me having. I'm accelerating a little fast here. Remember, 110 at 1000. Alright, this is looking good. So I have a space station. Alright, that's looking good. And I'm hoping to intercept it as I cross its boundary. Descending. Okay, so let me just adjust my profile here a little bit. Are those going down? No, those are going up. Just give me a moment. So I'm aiming. Instead of actually arriving at an orbit, what I'm doing is I'm trying to aim directly for the space station. If that makes any sense. So I'm launching directly from the ground, hoping to rendezvous with the space station as it crosses my orbit. Let me go ahead and turn prograde. $10,260. This is looking about right, actually. $15,425. Okay, I can accelerate a little more. Alright, this is looking pretty good, actually. I need to turn further towards the north. Alright, so everything that I'm doing is to try to rendezvous with this space station that I have in orbit here. There we go. I have my closest intersection. Now, this looks a little silly, but don't worry about it. I'm going to try to raise my apoapsis high enough that I get another intersection. There we go. 24 point. Alright. $18, $17, $16, $15, $14, $13, $12, $11, $10, $9, $8. Alright, I'm not going to get any better than that. So as I approach here, let's hope I have enough delta V to fix this. So let's try this. So you notice that at this point we're going to be very, very close. And you notice that my view has switched to target. So this is speed relative to target. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to burn retrograde and burn off all of this speed difference. I may not be able to get it all, but I should be able to get a very large amount of it. There we go. I am now in a very similar orbit. I can now ditch that part, and this is the module that I actually plan to dock with it. There we go. This module is also very... Alright, so let me lose a lot of that relative speed. Now as I lose some of this relative speed, you notice that my intersect will actually grow closer to each other, or it should, at least. What I'm going to try to do, instead of burning off a lot of this speed, I don't want to waste my mono propellant. I'm going to try burning north and see if I can cause the lines to intersect. Just like that. Alright. Get rid of a lot of that relative speed. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually using my RCS system to adjust my orbit. Now, you notice that I have two docking ports on either side of this. I'm going to be docking this side forward. You'll see what I mean. So let me get rid of this speed. So what I'm doing, right now, this target speed, because I've already targeted the space station, is my speed relative to the station itself. So right now, relative to the station itself, I am moving away from it, actually, at 52.3 meters a second, and I'm aiming to reduce that so I can then start thrusting towards the space station and get closer to it. We'll just quickly take a look at something. Just stop recording very briefly. It was fine. That was actually one of my other videos had finished rendering. So let me go ahead and reduce all that force. So as I just kind of keep killing off all this speed, or rather all this relative speed, what you'll notice happening is that I'll start getting very, very close to this space station, which is now a distance of 21 kilometers away. Which, let me actually just start boosting towards it and see what I can do about that. Right? So I'm bringing this intersect closer and closer together, hoping to bring it very, very close, hopefully within 5 kilometers or so. This is actually looking like it's going to turn out pretty well. I just keep drawing these closer and closer together. These aren't going down as fast, so it looks like I'm going to have to do some maneuvering at the ascending node, or rather, sorry, ascending node. So let me bring this as close as I can get it without doing that maneuver, and then just kind of fix it at ascending node. So right now it is 17,000 kilometers. Sorry, 17,000 meters, so 17 kilometers. I'm using the H key, by the way, H and N to throttle forward and back with my RCS thrusters. Alright, so now's the point where I'm starting to get closer and closer. That is closer to where I am relative to where I will be. I'm getting really close to the ascending node anyway. As it approaches this, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Alright, ascending node time, so let me go ahead and prevent my ascension. Go ahead and fix that. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, come on, give me a 2, give me a 2, 2, 1. Not gonna give me a 0, doesn't want to give me a 1. Alright, let's get this as fixed as I can. Okay. Let me see what I can do about making this closer. Alright, so let me see if I can burn off some of this relative speed. See what I can do. I'll point out that this ascent wasn't perfect, but we can still definitely make it to the space station. What I'm looking for right now is the space station itself, which isn't close enough to us that it's going to start showing, so oh well. Go ahead and... Is this getting any better, or... Okay, this actually is getting better. go. Alright, first let me get myself entirely killed relative to the space station, and I'm going to try to make a shot for it. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to entirely equalize and synchronize myself to the space station, and then I'm going to lower my periapsis and see how well that works. Alright, so let me switch to orbit. I'm going to lower my periapsis and see what happens. Now, there should be a point where my periapsis will actually dip below the orbit of the space station. There we go. Let's see how that works. 37, we'll do 6, 4, 30. Okay, so this is looking pretty good, actually. And I want these to get as close to 0 as possible. I think this is going to 0 faster than the other. So I'm going to wait for this one. 31, 28. There we go. Closest I can get is 3. Okay, so now at descending node, I'm going to go ahead and thrust upward a little bit, and that's going to get me super close. You'll see. Oh, duh, it's throttled up. Anyway. So I wait for descending node, and I'm going to fix the last bit of this. Now, what's happening, as you may remember that I talked about before, the apoapsis is very slow, and the periapsis is very fast. So I'm currently behind the space station. So by lowering my periapsis below its periapsis, I move faster and thus catch up with it. You'll see what I mean later, but let me just go ahead and fix this relative inclination. So this is descending node, so I'm going to want to go north, and let's see what I can do about that. See if I can get that to NAN. Alright, that's as close as I'm going to get it. And it looks like I actually may hit the space station when I approach it there. So let's go ahead and fix that. Now watch this. You'll notice that at this point, I start getting very close to the target. That is, I start getting very close to the space station as I approach this intercept point. Now, given how long it takes me to fix this stuff, let me go ahead and start. Where is the target actually? I want to. Okay, so that's the space station. KSP locked up a little bit. So let me go ahead and start fixing that. because I'm getting super close, and I am also super uncomfortable with just how perfectly I nailed that. So let me go ahead and make sure I do not actually hit that space station. Okay, good. I won't hit it. Good. I may miss it a little bit, but I'm not going to hit it. But I'm basically right here. So there's our space station, and that's what I'm going to dock with. I just need to fix this a little bit and burn towards it once I fix my relative velocity. I notice KSP is lagging a little bit. That's probably because of, well, who knows what that's because of, but I'm right here, the point is, and I'm going to actually successfully dock with it now. Let me just zero that, there we go. Alright. Now, my translation keys are H and N. Those are forward and back, respectively. J, I, K, and L work like W, A, S, and D. That is, L will move me this way. J will move me this way. I and K. Alright? So let me move my points around so I can finish doing this. Alright. Now, I need to control this from this perspective, from the perspective of this docking port. So I right-click it, and I select Control from here, and then I turn towards our space station, give myself a little nudge in its direction. Not a particularly fast nudge, but a nudge. I'll be happy with like 2 meters a second, so I can very easily kill that. Now let's use that to get closer. Alright. So it looks like the closest point is up here, where I get 0.2 kilometers, that is 200 meters away from it. I am more than happy with that, actually. Let's go ahead and kill that. Alright. Now time to burn towards it again. I'm going to want to dock with that branch all the way down at the bottom. You'll see what I mean. Alright, so we go ahead and thrust down there. That'll bring me 0.1 kilometers away, so whatever. Let's get very close to that. Like, looks like I got a notification. I'm very sorry about the fact that my KSP appears to be lagging a little bit. I don't know if you see that on your end. Alright, so we're getting very, very close to the space station. I mean, I can almost breathe on it at this point. Just kidding, it's like 60 meters away, but... Let me go ahead and burn towards it. There we go. We're getting closer to the stalk, which I want to get closer to. You see that part all the way down there at the end? Alright, let me go ahead and move towards it now. And I thrust. Alright, I get very, very close. And there. At this point, I want to neutralize nearly all of my velocity. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right-click this port I want to dock at. And I'm going to click Set as Target. So I've now targeted that specific docking port on the space station. So let me go ahead and burn towards that a little bit. Now ideally the space station is not moving. It's a bit of a problem if it is, but ideally you can just go get on the space station and tell it to stop doing that. Okay. Let's go ahead and start moving to dock. Okay. So first thing you want to do is you want to get your angles right. So you want to get yourself angled the same way as your docking port. Here we go. So with my SAS on, I can actually thrust towards my, hold on, give me a bit. Here we go. You can actually see, relative to my docking port, the other docking port starting to line up in my view. Now one thing I want to point out is that these docking ports are very, very forgiving. All I really have to do is kind of make it, and it'll work. So, let me go ahead and thrust towards it, and fix my velocity so it'll work. Fix that a little bit. And there we go. We're docked. Turn off SAS, let that vibration move down, and guess what? We have docked with our space station, and we have now delivered a can that can hold multiple Kerbals. Alright, thanks for watching.